Welcome to Truth and Consequences with Doug Poppa, Episode 16 for September 25th, 2020. In Episode 15, you heard Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Melanie Andress-Tobiasson talking about the unsolved 2016 Las Vegas Land Kaufman double homicide and the confidential information about that case that she claimed to have received from Las Vegas Metro Police Homicide Detective Jared Grimmett. Grimmett told an investigator for the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline that he did not give her any confidential information. So, does that mean that Judge Tobiasson is a liar? Well, no more so than Detective Grimmett could be a liar. And there lies the dilemma. No pun intended. Here is an audio clip from my May 2018 interview with Judge Tobiasson that I forgot to put into Episode 15 that, according to Judge Tobiasson, relates to the unsolved murders.
Metro was able to call it, I don't care why, it doesn't matter why. Metro finds out that a judge is giving information to the FBI and is able to call the FBI and tell their agent not to get information from the judge anymore about the prostitution activities that she reported to Vice that were ignored and resulted in 3 murders. It doesn't matter why. The fact it happened is the story.
Okay.
Who cares what their motivation is? It's disgusting. Why would they not want me to give information to the FBI about this? Because it makes them look really fucking bad. And they know that the fact that they outed me got 2 people killed. They weren't the 2 people they were trying to get killed, me and my daughter. But it got 2 people killed. I tell you, Joe does not want this story out there.
The Joe that Judge Tobiasson is referring to at the end of that audio clip is Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo, who runs the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. According to Tobiasson, her getting outed by the police, who Tobiasson believes were trying to get her and her daughter killed by outing them, ended up with the murders of Sidney Land and Nehemiah Kaufman, according to Judge Tobiasson. Judge Tobiasson has never made another comment on that since I interviewed her in May of 2018. Very sad for the Land and Kaufman families, who still have no answers, not only from Judge Tobiasson, but neither from the police. Next month, October 27th, will be 4 years since the unsolved murders. More on that in upcoming podcast. Right now, let's get to today's episode. Now, I will continue with my analysis of the charges that were filed by the Judicial Commission against Judge Tobiasson on September 1st and the response and motion to dismiss those charges filed by Tobiasson's attorneys on September 21st. On paragraph number 7 of the Commission's charges, the Commission refers to my May 7, 2018 interview with Judge Tobiasson that was published in the Baltimore Post-Examiner in January of 2019. The Commission states as follows: Tobiasson claimed in a publicized media interview that in approximately July of 2016, she contacted Valentine's lawyer and told him to tell Valentine that if he called her daughter again, she would, quote, take care of it herself, unquote, and that on one occasion, she, quote, went to Shane Valentine's house and kicked in the door, unquote. Here are the 2 audio clips in question from my interview with Judge Tobiasson.
So I contact Shane Valentine's attorney. It's about July now of 2016. And because I know that the cops at this point aren't going to do anything, I call his attorney and I said, hey, you might want to get your client about this, that if he calls my daughter again, I'm going to take care of it myself. So he does. He gives them the message. We don't really want to report that. I was the one who went to Shane Valentine's house, kicked in the door.
Judge Tobiasson's attorneys, Cook and Sheets, in response to that, state in their motion, quote, paragraph 7 of the formal statement of charges alleges that respondent says she, quote, kicked in the door of Valentine's house, when in reality, the audio says, quote, kicked the door, unquote. Cook and Sheets, come down from the Twilight Zone and back to reality, boys, because you're both wrong. Judge Tobiasson said in that interview with me that she, quote, kicked in the door. Not as you wrongfully state, kicked the door. 4 words, very distinctive, and I will prove what I say in just a minute. Then Cook and Sheets go on in the motion and state this allegation relies on a transcript by a blogger who refused to provide the full accompanying recording, and then they say it's hearsay. First, I'm not a blogger. I'm an investigative journalist. Second, I did provide the full unedited audio recording to the commission a few days after I was interviewed by the commission's investigator, Mr. Adam Wignansky. And it is my belief you, sirs, Cook and Sheets, have a copy of that recording in your possession. Now, back to what Judge Tobiasson said in that interview. You already heard the normal speed clip. Here are 2 audio clips, slowed down for better clarity. As usual, refer to the screenshots on my podcast and pay attention to the audio analysis graph that verifies 4 words, not 3.
I was the one who went to Shane Valentine. I was kicking the door. I was the one who went to Shane Valentine. I was kicking the door.
On September 10, 2018, Judge Tobiasson was interviewed by Judicial Commission investigator Mr. Bob Schmidt. The interview was audio recorded. That interview was conducted 4 months after my interview with Tobiasson that occurred on May 7, 2018. During the interview with Schmidt, the subject of Shane Valentine's house on Christine View Court in Las Vegas came up. Schmidt asked Tobiasson if she had done any follow-up at that address. Tobiasson replied, quote, "That would not have been a good idea," unquote. According to the transcript of that interview that I obtained, Judge Tobiasson never brought up anything about threatening Valentine through his attorney and or going to his house and kicking in the door, as she told me she did 4 months earlier. I said yesterday that I would be covering the charges against Tobiasson and her attorney's response in several shorter-length podcasts. Let's finish this podcast up with this. Cook and Sheets, Tobiasson's attorneys, state in their motion that Paragraph 9 of the formal statement of charges alleges that respondent contacted Connie Land relative to the same sex trafficking syndicate. However, none of the actions alleged in paragraph 9 were taken by respondent in her capacity as a judge. Land's own statement in this matter advises that respondent, quote, "did not tell me she was a judge in her message," unquote. See Land complaint, paragraph 2. Okay. Tobiasson's attorneys are picking and choosing only what they want to divulge in the public document. They don't talk about what is also included in paragraph 2 of Land's complaint to the Judicial Commission. But I will. On May 7, 2017, Judge Tobiasson reached out to Connie Land, the mother of Sidney Land, one of the 2 victims in the unsolved 2016 double homicide, on Facebook Messenger. Tobiasson wrote, "Hello, Mrs. Land. I recently saw the article on the KTNV website and thought maybe now was the appropriate time to reach out to you. I have a world of information I can share with you. I have battled this problem for some time and hope you will allow me to share my story with you. Perhaps 2 moms can do more together than the police and the media and the general public who refuse to believe that these pimps, human trafficking, and prostitution are epidemic and are indiscriminate. My phone number is 702 blank 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 Melanie." Connie Land responded to Tobiasson on Facebook Messenger as follows. "Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much for reaching out. I would love to speak with you. Please feel free to call me anytime, 702 blank blank blank. I look forward to speaking with you soon." Connie Land told me later that same day she met Tobiasson at Mark Rich's New York Pizza and Pasta on West Charleston Boulevard in Las Vegas, and they spoke for several hours. Now, here is the entire paragraph 2 of Connie Land's complaint that Tobiasson's attorneys didn't fully quote. "I was contacted by Judge Melanie Tobiasson in April-May 2017 via Facebook Messenger. She explained that she knew about my case and had specific details regarding my case no one else would have known unless having access to the information. She did not tell me she was a judge in her message. She requested to meet, which we did. At that meeting, she identified herself as Judge Melanie Tobiasson. She told me she knew Shane Valentine was tied to my daughter's murder and that there was police corruption deeply involved in my case. She told me she knew the police were not working on my daughter's case and they had no intentions of ever solving the case." That's it for this episode, folks. Thanks for listening. Much more to come only on Truth and Consequences with Doug Poppa.